My name is Matt Surch, and I live and work downtown in Ottawa. On Wednesday, August 7th, 2013, I was riding to work as usual on Percy Street and then Bay Street, heading north. And as usual, I was behind other cyclists, and approaching Gladstone, I was behind a young woman on a bike who had headphones on, which I see often enough, and I was thinking to myself, should I tell her it's not a good idea to ride with headphones on her bike? Last week a woman was hit at Riverside and Bank Street and killed on a bike. Riding bikes is dangerous, enough as it is, let alone when you eliminate one of your senses. After last week, my brother, he said to me, you know what, I heard about that woman, and I decided I'm not going to ride with headphones anymore because I want to stack the odds in my favor. I don't really want to take extra risk. I want to hear what's going on. I consider myself lucky I've gotten this far. So this was going on in my head as I was riding, and we approached Gladstone, and without looking in either direction, the woman in front of me went through a stop sign, and sure enough, a car was approaching from her left-hand side. So the car had to slam the brakes, stopped, going probably 35 kilometers an hour within a few meters. And we're talking about a fraction of a second between a T-bone being hit from the side square and not being hit. So the woman made it through the intersection. As she passed the car, she put her hand out like this, showing, oh well, c'est la vie. And to me that was, kind of horrific, right? Not only was she almost hit, potentially killed, injured badly, but her reaction was, to me, kind of flippant and not really understanding the gravity of what just happened. So after the car passed by, I decided, I'll go after her and tell her, maybe she needs to do things differently. So I pulled up alongside her and I said to her, you have to take those off. And I was looking at her headphones. And she said, what? I can't hear you. I said, well, that's what I mean. You can't ride with your headphones. It's dangerous. And she said, kind of sheepishly, okay. And I said, well, do you understand that was really close and you were almost killed just now? And she said, okay. And I said, well, if a car hits you, you lose every time. You die. And she said, oh, okay. So at that point, the conversation was over. I kept on riding, but I noticed how upset I was. I couldn't even speak to her totally clearly. My voice was wavering as I was talking to her. So she was potentially in shock. I was in shock. Just from riding a usual ride to work or whatever, she came within inches of her life. I almost saw it. The driver's life was almost changed forever. All for what? For the sake of wearing headphones on the bike, looking cool, having a good time, but at the same time just not really being aware of what's going on around. So those two things coming together make for a deadly combination. That was really the end of the story. I posted the story to my Facebook timeline just to say, look, this is something I have to kind of think about. And a lot of people were commenting, well, yeah, I agree, and maybe you should write in to the Citizen, tell other people so they can get a sense of the danger they don't necessarily perceive. So, if you're going to ride in traffic, you want to stack the odds in your own favor. Maintain your faculties, your senses. Use your eyes, use your ears, and try to be safe. That's really the idea.